Hey guys, how are y'all doing? This is my SL40+4 character, lovingly called Rotting Josiah, because my idea behind him was that he was going to be this legendary swordsman who got really tired of the Farron Watchdogs doing a really shitty job of protecting his grave, so he crawled out of it, decided to do it himself. So I picked really worn down armor for this character, picked the skull for a face to really drive home that this guy is half rotted, and the deserter armor, which is all in tatters, and then he uses the Rotten Grew curved sword, which does poison damage. And if you've read the lore about poison in any Dark Souls game or any game directed by Miyazaki, it's always a big point that it's oh, a lot of things are rotting and stagnating here. This build also is able to build up poison super fast, and it's not anything fancy either. It's just the Rotten Grew sword, raw, and then I just buff it with a rotten pine resin, and it procs in 3 hits. Which for a super fast curved sword like this is super easy to do. I also put the Old Wolf curved sword on my back, aka the Farron backpack, just because it provides a damage boost if you swing it 3 times and hit something. Also at I think 5 hits it provides a little health boost, but mostly it just looks cool, especially with this character. It's kind of frayed along the edges, and kind of looks like it's rotting as well, which just really fits well with the lore of this character. If I wanted to be a lot more efficient, I could have just taken that off and just stacked up on heavy armor, but I don't. I already win the vast majority of invasions at this level. I don't want to make it practically impossible for me to lose. So this is a bit of a gentle twink, I guess, because I don't want to just nuke everyone I fight, but I really don't want to lose to the really sweaty hosts at this level. So I think the Farron backpack is a good compromise between the two. 40+4 also gets me a ton of invasions at the Catacombs, which lets me fit in pretty well because I am also a dead body running around with a curved sword, which is almost all of the enemies in that entire area. This build also lets me have a ton of stamina on a very fast weapon, which means I just can swing forever and ultimately just play as aggressively as I want to. I talked earlier about being quote-unquote a gentle invader. But sometimes a party really just deserves to get annihilated. So for situations like these, I have the Sticky Bandit setup, which is the Farron backpack and Sellsword Twin Blades buffed with Dark, and then I press L1, L2, L1. And especially for cocky, password-summoned phantoms who are dropping their host's gear, this just wipes the floor with them. But this setup is a little too powerful for your average invasion, so I just kind of keep it in my back pocket in case I feel like deleting an obnoxious group of players. I also get a ton of invasions at the Cathedral of the Deep, which is a very fitting place for this character since it has a big old graveyard and inside is filled with corpses as well. But I always feel a little bit bad invading down to these players. But really, I just go where the Emperors take me. Now we're going to get into some of the more nitty-gritty aspects of this build, and the same duo from the last invasion is going to help us demonstrate those properties. The first thing is going to be the power of poison at this soul level. Poison isn't really a factor at higher levels just because we all have so much health, but at lower levels the health pools are a lot smaller, and thus each tick of poison is worth a lot more. So I'm able to get phantoms down to really low health and then just follow them around threatening to swing and kill them instantly if they try to heal. Which, as you can imagine, leads to a lot of phantoms just dying from poison, like that one there. The second thing that this host is going to teach us is that the curved sword, specifically fast two-handed curved swords like this one, are going to win every single trade out of mutual hitstun. This host actually had a pretty good idea and swapped to a dagger to try to be faster than me, but out of the mutual hitstun, the two-handed curved sword will have frame advantage over a one-handed dagger or even a two-handed dagger, meaning I can swing out of hitstun against the dagger all I want and I will always win that trade. Quick shout out to YouTuber Fel, also known as Felicicity, for teaching me about frame advantage. I did not know that term up until a couple days ago. But man, is a fast two-handed curved sword fun to play with. It just feels like you're practically like boxing. You're just weaving in and out. In the past, it's really annoying to play against the party with a straight sword and a mage like this. But because my attacks are so quick and have such a quick recovery, I don't have to commit too much to every single attack, which doesn't leave me as exposed to the mage. Two-handed curved sword play just seems so liberating. It allows me to change targets super easily, allows me to just put the pressure on. It's a really great weapon. And here we have it again. I'm not even really swinging too much anymore. The poison is just doing free damage for me. How sweet is that? Poison in general can be thought of as free damage. Damage that you don't have to swing for, that costs you no stamina. Just a constant drain on your opponent's health. And it can also be incredibly useful in situations like these. I was fighting this guy back and forth, thought we were having a fun little duel. Well, it's not really a duel, because at any point this guy can summon more phantoms, or call in more blues, or like he's doing here, just run to the fog wall. I failed a running attack here, but that's okay, our poison is doing the work for us. Last thing I wanted to highlight here is the usefulness of the Silver Cat ring. And yeah, I know that's a little bit trite at this point in the invasion community, but in the Catacombs especially, the Silver Cat ring comes in so damn handy. There's so many large drops, and at this point in the game, hosts don't have that ring. So even when you happen to invade potential invaders who are in the process of making their builds, you can easily make a sweet escape that they can't follow. And if they wanted to follow you, they might have to take a ladder, like some sort of nerd. Also, this fall right here will kill like 99.9% of all hosts at this level without the Silver Cat ring. And surviving a fall while everyone else, plunges to their death off of a rope bridge is really one of the better feelings in all of Dark Souls. On my last video, one of the commenters asked me to go super in-depth on all these characters, so I will oblige them here. Here are the stats, pretty basic stuff. Really, the only things I can really point out is that this character has like more endurance than I usually put on most characters in general, and that's so I can just stay aggressive. I can just spam the absolute shit out of my R1 button. It's just nice to have, and then my strength and dex are pretty minimal. I used to have 18 dex, so I could use a few more weapons, but I found I was just never using any of them. I was just sticking to pretty basic stuff. So I'll show you that here. I have my Doomsday weapon, so I can do the full Sticky Bandit build, like just with swap, super easy. Then I have this for quick stepping through the swamp, which is pretty necessary to have on any build that's going to invade Fair and Keep. This is for putting people in a blender. Which is just fun. I don't use it a ton, but it's a lot of fun. And then everything else on here is just like a couple chase down weapons. I have a couple offhand rapiers, just in case that'd be fun. I have the proper stuff to do a frost build, which is really good at low levels. Also, one thing I picked up from a G9 stream is he keeps everything in like a grid. So like Falchion, well, I might try it at some point, it's mostly there as a placeholder, so I have really easy swaps all right here. Well, I think I covered everything I wanted to in this video. I had a lot of fun making it, and I'm looking forward to making more like it. Hope you guys liked it too, but for now, that's it from me guys. Thanks for watching.